Hariya, Hariya, Nirname Akame, Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, 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 Hariya, Hariya,
So, hello everyone. I have tears in my eyes just seeing you all here, especially the ones that you are still in Ukraine. So good to see you. So good to see you all. So, hello, Sophia. Hello, Daria. So good to see you, Daria. Miss you very much. Good to see your beautiful face, your hair, your smile, shy smile. You don't know if you want to cry or smile. Philippe, so good to see you. Good to be with you again. What amazing retreat we had together. Lehua, miss you so much in school. Ola, so good to see you. Good to know that you are good and alive. Yes, stay there. Galina, good to see you walking on the snow. Here we have 28 degrees, it's summer. So big difference, and good to see you, your smile, and that you are walking in that beautiful snow. Corina, so good to be with you since school too. Love you very much. Katarina, so good to be with you. My love, Kate. Svetlana, hope you are well. I don't know where you are, but I hope you are well. Anna, so long we don't see our face. So good to see you. Good to know that you are alive and smiling still. Veronica, my sweetheart. Since school, Ksenia. How is California? Integrating California.
We also are heading to spring, so not so cold.
Yes.
Still windy.
Yes, you will. California summer is really hot. Christina, your white hair. So good to see your white hair. Everything about you, so good to see. Anna, so good to see you, Anna. I hope you are well wherever you are, my sweetheart. Tanya Abreu, so long. Oh, Tanya, I miss you so much. I hope you are going well. I don't know where you are, but I hope you and your son are going well, and your husband. Maria, are you pregnant again? Hope everything is going well with you too in Russia. Eugene, my love, I don't see you, but I'm always with you. I couldn't answer to your message today. I will at the end of the night. Miss you very much. You know how much I love you, Eugene. Natalie, hope you are well. Ira, I know that you are well. Julia Dudik, I hope you are well in the mountain. I love you very much. And working with Satya team, that is our Irina, I know you are well. And another person here from our team connecting. So everyone, just to tell you that it's a great pleasure to be here with you again. because even if you don't feel the same as I do, I really feel you as, you know, very important people for me. Each time that I remember, I have great memories with all of you. You know, I want to thank you all for so many great memories that we have together. No matter what happens between us, that was already a lot. And I grow up with you, and I'm very honored with that. So I want to tell you that I hope, especially the ones that you are in Ukraine and Russia, that we can really hug each other again very soon. What does it mean very soon? We never know, because we never know if I am the one dying tomorrow. So I hope we can hug very soon each other. And I want to tell you, before we go into this meeting that we have, supervision, you know that our work really matters. I will send you a poem the next days that I wrote for you. Two nights ago, I was in my fireplace and I wrote a poem for all of you. And you know, our work really matters. And what you do, the time that you give to people, the time that you give to yourself to grow, you become a truly point of consciousness. And I hope in the best way that you can, of course. As you know, we have all ups and downs, and sometimes we become unconscious. So I hope you have the strength to do what is needed to become more conscious, more at peace with yourself. And when you are with people in a professional way, you remember that you really matter for that person. That space that you created maybe is the only place that they have to really be authentic, to really feel safe, to work on themselves. And when I was in United Nations again, I want to tell you that before I start speaking, I closed my eyes and I brought you all inside of my heart. And each word that I was saying, you were there with me. And, you know, so many years, and we are there. It's not me, I'm there, it's we are there. And I want you to believe on yourself, you know, believe in your dreams, even in the hardest places that you can be. Believe it. Believe it. So, another news is we are creating doesn't mean that we will be able, but we are creating the first legal psychedelic clinic for working with Satya. We are on the process. So I hope many of you in 1 year are ready to start working with psychedelic therapy. So you can integrate all the psychedelic sessions to clients, so we can have therapy and then psychedelic therapy, and we can all, you know, heal more trauma in a deeper way. And I hope we can all meet in the jungle, because we have a reservation in the jungle. We have 40 hectares for all of us, and we are starting to build that reservation. That part of the land will be intact, and the other part will have a retreat center that I hope when the war is over, the conversations that we are having with your government, we can take militaries to the jungle for a deep healing. And, you know, it's for you. It will be your space, awareness facilitators, for you to heal and to work. So this is how it's going from this side. And I'm always thinking about everyone's future in a good way, with principles, with honesty. So hope this news can inspire you, and to really believe that working with Satya is for all of us, if we really agree in certain principles that we need always to be there. Yeah, otherwise we can't be together in that way. We can just be friends. Yeah, friends accept everything. To really work in consciousness, it's about other things. So you really touch my heart only with your presence today. I'm very touched. So before we start, because today it's not for you to sharing, we will organize a heart meeting for people that they are not being able to come to retreat. So I don't know when, but our team will create a heart meeting where we will share in families, okay? So we can be closer, all of us. So what we will do today, supervision, everyone. Eugene, good to see your face. Now we need to do this to Eugene. Captain of Love or Sergeant of Love, how is it? Sergeant. You know, our Eugene is our mafia of love in the militaries. He's spreading consciousness between them. Stay alive, my friend, okay? Stay alive, please. Remember that promise. Okay, everyone. Love you very much. And we will start working right now. So we have 7 important questions. I hope I can answer all. And we will start with the first question that is from Satya. So she's awareness facilitator, and the difficulties you have now running and applying awareness facilitator to the clients. This is her question. Julia, if I'm going too fast, please stop me, okay? She said yes. Okay, thanks so much. After a year, I see a tendency in clients who have left Ukraine. Only now there is an opportunity only to touch the themes and trauma of the war. Those who have stayed or returned to Ukraine and are with me in my work. Many now support themselves as well with antidepressants. I can see how this slows down many processes in the work. And there is more analysis. Now I feel the need and the readiness of some clients to work with this trauma. But for me, as a facilitator, the question worries me. I realize how much risk going to working with war trauma is for the client when they are in a country where there is a war going on and the internal background of anxiety is never turned off. How much the nervous system is really capable of adapting to be able to process and heal the wounds. And I understand that it is important to consider the whole life experience, where the client is emotionally and physically, and how deep the trauma is. I really want to hear your opinion and commentary on how to work with war trauma over time. Does the GPS change from the one you gave in the beginning? And are any adjustments to them now? Thank you. So first of all, I want to remember everyone that trauma is not what happens to the person itself, is how the person reacts to the situation, okay? So everyone will be different regarding any trauma. And specifically in the war, every person is really different from each other. That's why some become militaries. That's why others stay at home. That's why others come out of the country. That's why others, they can work under fire. That's why others, they froze. So you need to understand when you are working with any trauma, you need to understand who is in front of you and how do they react to the situation. This is the most important thing. The second thing that I read here is Stasio was saying that only now people are ready to work. What I believe is not only now people are ready to work, because there was many people since the beginning of the war that they were ready. I believe is most of people now are acknowledging that maybe the war, it will not pass as fast as they desire. And they understand that they need to do something because they are feeling the consequence of the war in themselves. Because now we are more than 1 year. So they already passed several stages, like the romantic part of the war, the loss of many people that they love, the destruction of their cities, seeing people going out. They already went to rage. They are still in rage. So I believe that most of people are now considering that they need to do something to keep living through the war. Second thing that I read here was antidepressants. Look, as an awareness facilitator, I don't judge anyone that takes anything, including drugs, to get high. Why? You need to remember that to take drugs, antidepressants, sleeping pills, alcohol, foods in an unhealthy way, to scroll down all the time, Netflix, is a way to cope with the pain and the anxiety that you feel. It's a way that people find to what? To feel more balanced, to calm themselves down. So it's not fighting antidepressives, it's not fighting the alcohol, it's asking the question that we learn, what is this antidepressive is bringing to that person? What she's trying to get that she's not be able now? I would say that if a person can't sleep and is highly traumatized, so her life doesn't have any quality, I would recommend, especially with the war trauma, especially outside of Ukraine, that they can go into a true psychiatric that makes a plan how to give antidepressive, thinking how to bring them out immediately. Because antidepressives, they need to be seen as a resource for that moment that people can't cope with the nervous system, okay? So when a person comes to you and say, I'm thinking about taking antidepressives, what I would say is, why are you thinking about that? What is going on with your life? To see if with behavior changes and healthy behaviors, they can change the situation. But be aware that most of people, they are highly anxious and they can't really sleep. So the first, you remember awareness facilitated training, the first thing that we need to do is to help people to sleep. If they don't sleep, the therapy will not work, okay? So when they say, when Stasia say that she sees how the antidepressive slows the process, yes, it's true. Because they numb the feeling. Antidepressives is exactly this. They numb the feelings, so people can be, you know, they can be on daily life in a more healthy way, in a sense that they can cope with reality. Okay, if they antidepressive numb the feelings, of course you will do therapy in a very superficial place that they understand with their minds, but they don't feel the pain in themselves. And as you know, one of the principles here is we need to activate the pain a little bit so they can go through, they can do the healing movements. Yeah, they can open up their how do you say, resource to deal with any emotions. When they are in antidepressives, we need to go slower. But it's important that you do the therapy when they are with antidepressives, because when they start to let it go, everything that was repressed by the antidepressives will come up again, all the feelings. And if they do therapy during that time, they have more rational support resources, and they have new behaviors that will sustain the letting go of antidepressives. This is really important what I'm saying. Because there's a tendency when people are in antidepressives, we don't do therapy. It's the opposite. Is where you need to work with them, till the place that they can go. And when they are letting go, we need to even give more therapy, more exercises for the body to do what? To recreate the chemistry that the antidepressives were numbing. So we need to help the body and the emotional body to recreate that, okay? It's the very critical place is when they start to let go, is where we really need to be there for them. Normally, my last client, individual client, because now I can't, it's impossible to have individual clients. I had the phone for 3-4 months, 24 hours with sound, because she had suicidal tendency. She was 8 years with antidepressive. She changed antidepressives many times that they couldn't work, even got worse. So when they do the JMAM, the letting go, is where you need to pay attention, okay? Because they can really go into very hard places. With the war trauma, being specific now. Look, people that they are out and they are here living in other countries is a work. People that they are inside of the war is another work, totally different, okay? In both cases, we can't push them to go where we want them to go. We need to help them to go step by step, respecting their timing to go there. So if you are in the middle of the war, what you will do, first of all, is to find a way for them to find resources to be more stable, not to deal with the eye of the hurricane that is the deep trauma inside. So do you remember the somatic approach? We don't go immediately to the war point, we go around and we eat step by step the trauma. So you need to work with the trauma to find resources so they feel safe to go a little bit deeper. So you need to be the responsible one to see, because many cases is, I want to go to the what trauma because they are highly activated. So they are addicted to the to adrenaline. They are addicted. So even in therapy, they want adrenaline. Normally, when you are at war, you are addicted to adrenaline, or you go higher or you shut down. So you need to find a way to stabilize the adrenaline, okay? When you were speaking about the GPS that I gave to you, for what I remember, and there was several, was under attack, correct, Stasia? Is what are you speaking about?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you have the GPS. Of course, all the GPS you need to apply to each person. It will be a little bit more right, a little bit more that, a little bit less than that, okay? But you need to remember, one thing is to work under attack. Another thing is to work with people that they can be attacked or they were already attacked, but now they are not. They are in an individual session or in a group session like Ola is doing, okay? Or many other people. But to remember, in a country of that is in war, the most important thing is to find resources. So when they go into desperation, they can recall that resources and they can sustain conscious, so they can choose what they need to do. If the trauma comes, if the person is ready, you do trauma work, okay? And remember always to balance activation, resources, activation, resources. And when they come out of your session, you need to stabilize them always. Here is your face. How are you, Stasia? You are with a very serious face. Did I answer to your question?
Okay. Yes, thank you so much. I just try to fulfill myself with every word you're saying and every.
Okay, please see the recording in the beginning, okay, that I was speaking about antidepressives, what means trauma, okay. Some people will be ready to work deeply into rage, fear, but most of people, they just need a rest, you know, in that situations. And their attack is to how to sustain their survival, okay. Do you have many clients now like this?
I have really different and I really feel that you're saying that I'm happy that what I'm doing is, and it was very important to me, really like to my truths and what you teach us, that it's still here and I'm happy. I just
Okay.
one more time asking because
Please
it's
ask.
very important, and it's and the different spaces, different clients, what I have, situations, and I know in myself that I really love to push people to.
You need to be careful, Stasia, there.
I'm not doing it. I know this part, and
Yeah.
I work on a school as well, a coaching, and I feel responsibility, huge one, like working with this kind of trauma.
Mhm.
I feel like I need to be more аккуратной.
Accurate.
Even
Can
more.
I say something? It's really good that you are watching that, okay? Because of course there's moments with clients that we need to push them, but we need to respect their timing, especially with strong traumas. Sometimes it's not that they don't want, they can't. They are really afraid. They are really highly traumatized. And if we push them, we traumatize them even more. It's like we are saying you have something wrong with you and you should go that way. And our work is the opposite. It's like, I'm here with you. What do you really need? Is what you can do today. It's okay. We do this today. Especially with big trauma, okay? And it's a beautiful sign. It's a good sign that you are watching that in yourself. It means that you are already aware of it, so you are already being responsible for it. And you can ask all the questions, you know. I will try to have more days of supervisions that we can all meet, because we really need to be together. We really need to discuss. And we have an idea to have discussion groups, even only between facilitators that they already have the degree. So we can really inquiry from different themes to research, so we can deepen our profession. Okay. So everyone, take a deep breath. Open your eyes. And we are going to the second questions from Maria Didarova. Please write the nature. I'm an awareness facilitator student. You are awareness facilitator already, official, Maria. No, you are. So, client is 26 years old, and she has nightmares, or he, with a lot of penis and sex scenes, depression, anxiety. How long the client has been in treatment with you? 2 months. Brief story: mama left her at 3, father at 5, raised by grandmother and uncle, was beaten hard. Difficulties. I asked about this client already. After 2 months of work, she sees inspiring changes. Good. She sleeps better, stopped communication with people who disrespect her. She found a lot of insights about her childhood. We made many mom and papa sessions. Good. I see hope in her eyes. Beautiful. But we came to a point where I'm totally lost. She has no money. She doesn't work. She's 26. She's smart, has a good brain, very responsible. When we discuss her future, she says she wants to do a lot of things, but all that she's doing now is taking money from men, is not enough. So she's complaining. When I ask her, maybe it's a good idea to do something to earn money, she was angry with me because she's waiting for rich men to marry her. So actually, we are stuck here. I'm listening about her boyfriends, lack of money, sex nightmares, and childhood. I am lost what to do next. We still have a lot of things to do with her childhood. It is a good idea to continue working with childhood and temporarily stop speaking about her current affairs. Second question, she's sure that she had no sexual abuse. Why she has such nightmares? So, Maria, I'm going to just do some questions here so I can answer better, okay?
Okay, and can I add something?
Yes, please.
Because last session, she told me that she will be happy only if she has a lot of money and things like this. So I found myself that I'm not able, I really didn't know what to say. And for 2 weeks, we stopped work. I said that I have to do my work. And we had paused. And during these 2 weeks, she continued, she came back to vodka. She started to drink in the morning. And when I saw her after 2 weeks, she was really bad looking. And what I found, what I felt that I really don't know what to do, and maybe she doesn't need my help. At the same time, in this period of life, I'm the only person who is speaking with her, except her boyfriends. Her mother is not interested in her life. She's absolutely alone. So from one side, I really think that she's a very good and kind girl, but I really don't know if I can help her, because now she speaks only about money, and she really believes that this is the only thing that will make her happy. And all my questions, maybe something else, maybe no, she says that she needs money. And today she had to fly to Dubai to study something, but she was turned back in airport because she had problem with passport. And I know that when we meet next time, she will say that my life is awful. I need to go somewhere to Dubai or Bali, otherwise nothing will change. So she will complain, that's all. And I don't know if I can help her, because it was not taught in awareness facilitator what to do with people who wants money and nothing else. And then there's many. I mean, I don't know where to move, because now she's waiting for me the recipe.
Okay. So, okay, thanks so much. And that is very important. One thing that we need all to reflect is why so many people think that money will be their safety zone. Yeah. Most of people, and especially the new generation, 26 is the new generation, they see how, and honestly, since ever of human history, if you go back to Jesus Christ, only 0.01 would have the power and the money, and everyone would be a slave. Yeah? So if there is past lives here, most of us, we were slaves. Big percentage. And now in our society, with this technology, with this image society, everyone, including all of us here, we feel if I don't have money, I can't survive. Yeah. Oh my God, we become nervous. If I don't have money, I will not survive. How my kids eat? How do I pay the rent of the house? So imagine a girl that their parents just went away. The pillars of her life left her. And she was left with a grandmother and an uncle. And you are saying here that she was really beaten, really hard. So, and we don't know what happened, because maybe she don't even remember why she has so many sex dreams and nightmares. Okay. That is like red sign. So it's normal that a person that maybe she couldn't study a lot, she didn't have support, she didn't have true love and care, saying you can do it, you are amazing, I love you. That the only thing that she knows is like, if I have money, I will be okay, is what she sees around. And it's true in its society, unfortunately, for most of people. They value themselves through what they achieve. Yeah, even if they are depressed or, I see many entrepreneurs, rich people, they have everything, but they feel lonely. So there's a running in our society to have. And this having is to feel safe, is to feel in control, is to feel in power. So I believe that your relation with her is really important. Because if now you cut the only bond that she trusts to be herself, even to say, I want money, because she's being honest.
Yes.
If you cut the bond, is again highly traumatizing for her. When I was being honest, when I'm really vulnerable, they are going away. So for you as an awareness facilitator, that you need to be responsible for your clients, now it's not the time to leave her. Even if you listen complaints for a long time, now it's time to give her space for that. Then the question about money with men, maybe she's doing prostitution. They don't call prostitution. I don't know if it's true or not, but she meets men and they give them money, even if she doesn't have sex. She's selling something. One thing is one time to get help. Two, another thing is to live like that. You are accepting money because you need it and you don't know how to create it alone. And we can't even judge that, we can't. She's doing everything to survive. So at least she's doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's moving. If it's healthy, no, it's not. If it's painful, yes, it is really painful. And maybe even if she doesn't have sex with these men, that almost for sure she has. Maybe she has when she doesn't want. Maybe she needs to be sexy when she doesn't want. Yeah, because it's not a loving relation. It's a relation so she can survive. So she will do anything to survive. And we as awareness facilitators, we need to see this as, okay, she's really in pain. I need to be here with her. When I say we need to go to hell with them, this is what I'm saying. It's her hell. So I would go on with Mama and Papa. If you feel there's a lot of work there to do, go on. Because it's not, we can't show them what they are doing right now. Because maybe she's not ready for that, because she's not ready to let go the money that she gets from these boyfriends. Okay. What I would advise you to work would be to really Mom and Papa, what she wants from life, love, what she misses, what she longs, why she came back to alcohol, how was for her to be 2 weeks without you, to create more bond and more bonds. And it would be good for you to understand, like, what is happening to me? I'm feeling frustrated that she doesn't move forward, you know. Her pace is different from yours. And maybe one day you can come and say, for me is, you know, it's painful to hear only complaining, but not now, one day, and to see how much potential you have. But everything that she's doing is showing you that she's in painful nightmares, alcohol again, speaking only about how to get money from boyfriends. So this is like, she's really in desperation. So you need to go back, to go again to mom and papa, because for what I heard sense from your talk when you were doing mom and papa, she had good steps.
Yes.
So keep on doing that. At least you give a structure for, at least you give a resource for her.
Mhm.
Yeah. I see this a lot of times since I started to work in Russia and Ukraine, a lot of our community, women. And I never judged them. I was there with them, and to go to places, how can she can resource herself.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's really deep in your culture. I want a rich man. In Europe, we don't have that anymore. It's like, there's a few, but in general, women, we don't want to depend on a man. It's like, oh my God, no way, you know. And in your culture, in these countries, is really rooted. So we need to be there with them and to help them to grow, not to even attack them and to judge more them. And I know that you don't do it, but when you feel inside like, I can't help her, she feels, and you are what energetically
Yes, I understand this. Yes.
doing the same that their parents did, and grandmother and uncle. So I would go on to all this work again and again. Does she pays to you? Can
Sorry?
she pays the sessions?
No, no.
Okay. So, okay. And
Mhm.
you are okay to work with her?
I can't leave her.
Yeah, I understand. I have clients like that.
Yeah.
And it's true. We can't leave them in that place.
Yes, thank you, because I was lost what to do next. I was feeling that she needs me, but I really thought that I cannot help her, only listening and saying, okay, okay,
No, go to the other work.
okay.
Go. And maybe you can work with interpretation of dreams, you know, to go to those dreams, what that image tells about you, what are you living right now that you can link with
Mhm.
that, and then to guide the meditation to the same dream to see if the dream can change.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So we can have meanings on this dream, that we can start changing the subconsciously and the reality around the dream.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your service to that human being, Maria. Thanks so much. Okay. Everyone take a deep breath. And now we have the third question, that is from Svetlana. So I'm a dentist with whom you can share everything. Oh, Svetlana, she's not here. All my love to you when you see the recording. So, question about both theory and my state, 2 in 1. How do I not become emotionally involved? How do I not become emotionally involved when the patient shares his or her suffering from the war? Occupation, violence, fear, pictures of dead bodies and destruction, pain. When I feel it all practically, physically, in doing so, I cry, even if the patient is not crying. The usual methods of grounding, breathing, returning to the body don't work for some reason, and I'm simply lost, don't know what to do. Sometimes stupor, or detach myself. So as you saw, Svetlana, in the beginning of this this session, supervision, I became really emotional. I even had tears in my eyes just by seeing people that I love and I can't be with them, or that I feel so grateful for their lives. It's okay that you show your emotions. I believe that the techniques of grounding and breathing and returning to the body and pausing are not working because you are fighting with it, okay? If you say to your clients, look, this really touched me, you know, this really touched my heart, I'm sorry, I'm emotionally, you will see how it will be much easier to ground yourself through breathing, through touching, through returning to the body, okay? Let's see. Look, I think the war touched all of us. It's impossible not to touch, only if you are, you know, a rock without a heart, it will not touch you. Or if you are used to the war because you need to survive and you need to keep your people together. So it's normal that you get used to it. It's like a doctor, you open, okay, blood, whatever, oh, that this one, you know. And even when a client dies, it's like, I went through already some deaths. It's I can deal with death in a place of peace, but it's normal when you are not used to, or if you are traumatized, that emotions come. So I would advise you to really be honest with your clients. You know, when you show me this, when you speak about this, really touch me. I'm really sorry that I'm emotional. So you don't reject and you don't repress. And I believe that will be easier. So let me know, okay, Svetlana, how it is going for you when you own your feelings in front of your client, okay? Maybe another question for you, Svetlana, is, because you are not here, I don't know what is the level of your activation of nervous system, and that I would need to know. Do you lose the sense of the place? Do you lose connection with your client? Do you need to go outside to come back to yourself? I would need to know this, because if it's like this, I highly advise you to do therapy. You need to go to therapy, okay? Because it means that your nervous system, it's not able to cope with this trauma. So it means that it's touching some of your trauma, okay? Everyone, take a deep breath. And I want to remind everyone here that we are connected with Ukraine and Russia. That is normal that we feel very sensitive, and especially the ones that you are inside. Okay, so the most honest you can be, the most you can hold yourself and others as an awareness facilitator. And I'm speaking in the retreats, in the sessions, yeah. And now the fourth question from Ola. Ola, hello, awareness facilitator. I'm so proud when I see you writing this. You don't imagine how joy I feel inside. So your client, where are you? You are there. Woman, 23 years old, 9 sessions. Kleptomania, so she likes to steal. Yeah. While working with the client, she confessed to periodic theft. At this stage of the meeting, I was completely relaxed, curious, and non-judgmental. I saw how the client was hoping for a different reaction, and she was very relaxed when she did not feel judged. I was transparent about the fact that this is a criminal offense and she should be aware of it. But at the same time, I said that we would explore the source and needs together. And together we would find a way. After that meeting, I started studying kleptomania. The first thing I realized was that it wasn't it, because the goal was to get rich with things, and I didn't feel that the client was ashamed of it. Do we work with kleptomania as mania? How exactly? How do we work with persons craving for teeth, not kleptomania? Our standard procedure is to keep doing it and explore the sensations. It seemed inappropriate to me. More convincing the person that I take what I really need, does not see anything wrong with it. And when she told me, I felt that she was looking for punishing from me, but she does not want to work with this. Now she's running away from this topic. Okay, I will go for the second. So first of all, kleptomania is like an addiction, okay? And an addiction we need to treat as an addiction. As an addiction, we can only help people when they want to be helped. Till then, it's impossible to help Ola. She will keep on stealing. She will keep going to the addiction. So with an addiction is what is behind the addiction? What makes you to go to that behavior? What you get from that? But if you say, good that she didn't feel relaxed, but if you say that she's not in an addictive behavior, she's not ashamed and she wants to get rich, she's a true thief. Why should you work with that even? The question is, she doesn't need help there. She knows what she's doing. So the question is, why she's coming to you, what she's looking in your sessions. What do you think she's looking in your sessions?
It's, I feel it like both ways. In one way, when she talking this to me, and sometime before she tell me something another like this, when she have this honesty of what she's doing. She waiting for some kind of punishment. She want someone to say her that she's a bad girl. And I have different examples of this behavior in her future or in her past. And at the same time, when I don't give her what she wants, she's just relaxing and feel like a safety, like a child behavior, I feel. So actually, I want to have an advice. It's not really in not my I don't know how to explain. Дівчата, може хтось мене перекласти на англійську? Не знаю, як це дуже швидко пояснити.
Так.
Так? Якщо це не співпадає з моїми принципами життя, а людина просто це уникає, просто, якби мені, я не можу зробити вигляд, що нічого не відбувається, тому що це якби кримінальна історія, і це те, що дуже важливо для мене, мати якісь певні межі цього. Тобто, чи правильно просто зупинити?
Yeah, so what concerns Ola that this approach doesn't connect with her principles, with her integrity, so she can't just leave this behind, because I think she thinks about it. And so what would be correct now, to stop the sessions or to continue, but how?
When you say that she's looking for punishment, it's like, oh, we have a place to work. Because it's like a little girl that she wants to call attention, when she's the rebel one, like, my parents doesn't give me attention, I will destroy everything, and that we can work with. Look, I work with a lot of people that they don't have the same principles as mine. They tortured people, they were criminals, they did very terrible things. But I could see in them, like, even if they couldn't leave the violence for a long time, they were looking for something, and then one day they found. And then one day they found, you know, this little boy that was so hurt that he didn't know how to do better. And all these choices from life was coming from that little boy. And they were really conscious about what they were doing. Yeah. But I saw in them a place that I could meet them for true session. Because if we don't have a space for compassion to these people, who will have? It's like people in prisons, you know, they are criminals, yes, but if we don't help them, if we just put them away, you know, we are putting away maybe our son and daughter one day. So I always go into place, if I was the mother of this person, if there is a place to really work with them, okay, forget now kleptomania now, you know. Let's go to what is behind all of this. Why this little girl wants to be punished now. Because it's what I was telling to Maria. If we leave them now, who will be there for them to do true work? And my question, and that's why I have a question, why she's coming for you, what does she want from you? Is just a place to say how good thief she is? Yeah, you should work with that. But if you feel that there's a place where you can meet her to do therapy, true therapy, if it's too much for your principles, okay, Ola, if it's too much, you can't work with it. You tell, you know, the way you behave, for me it's too much. But I believe that maybe you reinforce the trauma, the punishment that she's used to. So maybe I would give a little bit more time to see how therapy would go in the other areas. And you can even say, sometimes I have the sensation that you are looking that I tell you something wrong, that you did wrong. Is it true? How is it for you? What happened to get used to do? Do you have some sexual pleasure in that? Emotional pleasure when people punish you? Are you used to that? How it would be a life without that punishment? How is for you when I don't punish you? You know, I would see if there's a place of work. Because for all these cases, there's a lot of people that they did things that I don't agree, zero. I would even maybe, you know, stop them if I was in the moment. But, you know, I saw how through true compassion and true space for them to go deeper than what they do here, how they changed totally and they really stopped. And honestly, it would be cases that most of people say, no way, I would not take them. I'm not speaking about sexual abuse, but even with that, I had cases that they told me, you know, I did it. And somehow I could see that they were not cold. They were not sociopaths, psychopaths, you know, they were really, but of course they had to be cold for years to sustain that secret. You know, it's like working with military. Sometimes they do, you know, they do such crazy stuff because they are in the middle of war. They saw their brothers being killed and tortured. And then when they arrive to the opposite militaries, they do the worst, even worst. And if we don't have a space for them to confess and to cry and to heal, where they will find this? So I believe if you can have a little space to see in the next sessions, if you can find this place of true work, I would go. But if it's too much for your principles, you need to be honest, because then you are damaging yourself.
You know, that's the main point. That it's not I'm not ready to working with. It's just I'm expecting from her that she will start working with it, and she don't want to. So I'm starting. you know, like
Tell me, what
yes,
are you
the-
starting? What are you starting? Tell me, bring that up.
I'm starting to feel that I don't want to waste my time of session just for talking. Just want to spend it for a real work. Maybe
So you need to
that's
go to the real work, because that place, she's not available. She's not ready to let go that behavior or addiction, whatever, or strategy of self-defense, or maybe cruelty. You know, she's not ready.
Mhm.
I had a person in this war, that person called me and told me, I promised you that I would never kill anybody else. I promised you that I would never torture anybody else, but they are in my house. What do I do? And this was under the situation. And I said, you need to defend your family. I said, but to defend my family, I need to kill them. And I said, you know, what do you want to live with the consequence? To lose your family or to keep this promise that was in a different context? So nothing is really black or white in my perspective. Thank God that person found a way to run away and didn't do what was used to do in a very fantastic way. So nothing is black or white. If you want really to do true work and she's not available for this, maybe you can find another thing. And through that, because this is the high of the trauma, this is the center, and you were going there, and she's saying, no, 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 no. So go around, you know, go to mom and dad, go to whatever, sexuality, because one day she needs to go there. But now she's saying, I can't. Do you remember the GPS of addictions? Do it for 3 months, totally conscious of what you're doing. You can
yes, and it was my first question: how I can suggest her this to keep stalling and feel this. I can't
Maybe you don't
suggest this.
suggest now. Maybe you find first the place where you can work together and you feel comfortable. And then when you feel comfortable, you go around, you go there and say, let's apply here a technique to this to see how it works for you. And then you will be able to see if she's a really cold person that somehow doesn't feel for what you are saying, but you can find out that she is, and she was pretending. Because when we have a sociopath, they are really good pretenders, you know, they really do the theater. So you are confused, but you need time to observe that. And if she's not really cold, something will come out of all the therapy that you were doing to that moment and to apply this GPS to that situation. But not now. Now she said, I can't. It's an adventure, Ola.
But it's not expected that it was so difficult client.
That's why our life is so amazing. It's not boring. You know, this, wow, who is this personage? What movie she is in? You know, sometimes we need to look to people, of course, with the respect of matter, and that really hurts all the traumas. But sometimes, like, what kind of movie she's telling to herself? Wow, Lord of the Rings, and she is Darth Vader. Wow, can I work with Darth Vader? So first of all, see if you can do it first. If it's so you find a place, go on. If not, there will be a moment that you need to say, look, this goes against my principles. But see if it's not the easier way to deal with a situation that is not comfortable for you. And remember, I always remember, some years ago, I was speaking with a priest, and he was, you know, forgiven is for Christians. And I looked to him and said, no, forgiveness is for everyone, especially who are not Christians, because that is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is for all. So it's easier to work with easier people. So you have a good case for you to grow personally. Go for it. I'm curious how you will deal with this.
Me too.
And see this punishment. This thing about punishment is a key for that person.
Mhm.
Okay. Second question from Ola. How to work, explore, understand, manage the process of belching and vomiting of the facilitator in the process. In psychedelic journeys.
No, it's happened to me just in the middle of maybe a dynamic meditation or something, but it's not about me. Something in the group happened and I'm starting to do this, and I know how to deal with that, how controlling that.
First, in the beginning, you don't control, you allow it to happen. Okay, but you sustain presence, you vomit, but you are here. Yeah, you do the process, you allow the energy to go through you. Most of the times when it comes to the facilitator, it means that the people are not being able to process themselves, their own work, and the energy is trying to find a place to be processed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a time with the work by itself that you will not need to vomit or to only in specific cases. And you will process, you will feel the energy coming and you will process with your intention, like, okay, go through me and I'm a channel for you to be processed. And you don't even do a sound, only in a few situations, few, that they are stronger, that they are heavier, and you know, that the person is not being really able, sometimes with cancer or like magic, you know, all these things that like magic that so many people in these countries, they have access and they really believe. I don't believe in nothing like that, but the energy is there. Yeah, and the energy needs to be processed, to be seen, accepted. What you are doing is like, okay, you go through me and I'm watching you, I'm dealing with you. But in an unconscious way, you will step by step to understand what kind of energy it is rage, is fear, is this physical diseases. You will start, if you are really present, that's why I say, do it, but stay present. Don't be like, oh, I'm doing this. No, you ask like, what is going on? What energy is here? If it's not mine, where it comes from? What I need to understand here. And the more you do this, the more you will open the space for that energy to reveal to yourself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when you were not aware about your feelings and you start to see deeper than you could see before?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, exactly the same. So you are tuning yourself with the unconscious collective, and you are now being able to channelize, but now you need to go to another step, and it takes time. That is to be present and to ask, what is going on here? What do I really feel has truth?
Can I have somehow to stop this if I have maybe less power, or I can't do this work, or it's like regulating by itself?
I believe
I don't want to do this.
Haha. So it's already the resistance, you say. You see, I don't want to do this. But you are working with shamanism, you are working with energy, you know. So what you can do is to, in the beginning, to allow the process to happen and to really be present for that, because when you stop judging and criticizing inside, even resisting, what happens is you will learn how to allow to come through, and that will be information to work with your clients without doing any noise, any nothing. You just feel like, ooh, irritation, coldness, love and sexuality, and you know that you were neutral. So it's not your sexuality, it's not your rage, but you start to feel there and it really comes to you. So when you are, for example, in a horseshoe or in a group, you say, I can sense some rage, and immediately you see people like this. Or I sense some sadness in the room and tears coming down. Because you are naming what they are repressing and they can't process, and that energy is trying to find a place to be seen and worked. It's like a child, you know, it's like a child that young. Like, give me attention. I need a place to exist. Nobody sees me. Because when a person cries in front of you or shouts, it's okay, she's doing. But most of people, they are not doing that. They repress. You know, in ceremonies, the hard ceremonies when people are afraid to work, and a lot comes to me, a lot. So a true ceremony is when each person is doing their work. I'm like, just this. Wow, they are working. In other retreats without ayahuasca is the same. If you see, when I need to push the group, let's go, you need to face your truth, it's because they are resisting. And I'm feeling everything, and I really touch there. You know, you are angry, and you don't say, you are projecting on me, motherfuckers. Because inside of them, this is what they are having. Like, you motherfucker, you don't know nothing about my life, Satya, I hate you, you know, and I really hear. And what is happening to you is that you are touching that spaces on unconscious collective that is not visible, but is really strong. So if you resist, you are cutting one of the most beautiful tools that you can have.
Just because I don't know how to deal with that, and then need to have some protection, or maybe can it hurt my body after this, because I'm sometimes feel like I'm very empty.
Yes, you are tired.
Yes.
Tired. Look, I don't believe in protections. I don't believe in black magic. If they exist, yes, they exist because they really do it. I don't believe they have power, so you don't need protection. What you need is after to rest and to resource yourself, okay? If you ask me, did someone send you really negative energy that attacked your body? Yes, it happened, but because I was really tired and I was sick in those situations. So that energy exists in the room, jealousies, projections, you know, it's true. And even with cancer, when I'm working with the cancer or diseases, it takes a lot. But the more you know that after you need to clean yourself, it can be with smudging, with intention, with water, warm bath. It depends how it works for you. For me, for example, many times it's with rapé. Most of you see me at the end of sessions, but I go to my room and I do other process. I go for a true shower, and I go for my smudging. Is not to protect me, is to recover my energy, like everything that is not mine. Now you can go to planet Earth, or you can go to the fire, and I recover my energy. So I work a lot with intention, so I can be very still, and I'm working on myself, even during sessions. Like now was a strong moment. Okay, take a deep breath, come back to myself. But many times we don't have time because it's one after another. Yeah, it's like boom, boom, boom. So after, I always, and it's what I say to all of you, you are responsible to be in the best way that you can be to help people. So I go to bed early than any person in that retreat. Everyone stays talking, having fun, you know, they want to speak about, so how was the retreat, and I go to my bed. It's really boring sometimes, my life. I love my work, but I go to my bed, so next day I can really be okay for you. I don't go out at night because I know that I will not be okay to work with people. I don't eat this and that because I know that I need my body to be available to process strong energy. So what is happening to you is to start being aware of the invisible world that is really strong. So it's a beautiful path. Don't be afraid of it. It's a beautiful tool that you are developing. But you need to not be like, oh my God, it happened to me this. No, it's like, okay, here I am, what is going on, to be aware, and then to resource yourself. And I hope your
Thanks.
husband understands,
Oh, yes.
because we need space at home.
Yes, I already have, and sometimes I say to him, sorry, it can't be strange noises now, but I need to do something.
Yeah, and you need sometimes just to be in, you know, just watching a movie or going to your bed, scrolling whatever you want, going to speak with your friends, the way that resource you, not give attention, one more person at home, like, now I'm a wife. Because to be a mother, you can't stop it. It's your responsibility. You put these children, if they are small, you need to take care of them. But to an adult or to a teenager, you can say, look, I'm tired now. I need my space. Bye. And you need to do this if you are really working with people. To a baby, no. To a baby, it's your responsibility. So you work less till your baby grow. Yeah. Okay, I'm curious about your client and how you will deal with that. If you need any, you know, if you feel that the process is going strong for you, send me a message, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
I really
See
love
you
it.
in Yellow Lotus.
You will come.
Yes, I buy tickets.
What a
Thank you.
joy. You know, it's very good to be in this field that we can really speak about these things that normally in psychology or in United Nations or with doctors, we can't speak because they think we are crazy. So thank you for these questions and to really be honest. Everyone take a deep breath. We are going to the 5th question. And I understand why we can't speak, because, you know, it's a fine line between what is really happening or manipulation. You always need to remember that we project our fears, the need of power into this invisible world. And then, of course, it can become a big game. That's why I believe that we need to be very grounded, even when we are speaking about these things, okay? I see many, sometimes people describing things that is not real, it's their imagination, honestly. And I know that they are creating. So I need to help them to see the ego structure that is taking them to create things. Yeah. I'm not saying it's you. I really sense that you are really going through a process. But that's why it's dangerous in the same way that to open totally these questions. We can play games. Yeah. So Tanya Bruce, awareness facilitator student, you are not awareness facilitator already. Official. Okay. No license. You have the best license of all, that is awareness facilitator. You know, I have been discussing a lot this with lawyers, a lot with institutions, and they say, Satya, there's no legal place for you, as there was no legal place for coaching, no legal place for psychotherapy. You will have your legal license one day when you are highly recognized. So we are in the path of that, okay? Don't worry. Look, without a license, this license that everyone say, I'm being invited to speak at the United Nations, you know, more than so many other people that they have so many licenses. So, you know, and I was concerned because all of you were really worried, and I understand your worriness, but, you know, the true work is done. And the more we do, the more we are recognized, and we see how we are being recognized. So trust yourself, trust the training that you did, trust the work that you do with yourself, because it's more than enough. For what I see with other trainings, there's many good trainings, but many, it's like with license. So, you know, trust yourself. Let's go. Gender and age of a client. Woman, 33 years old. And you can always say, I'm a awareness facilitator. We have a registered brand. That is true, okay? We are registered. It's a new profession. Okay, and it's true, it's a new profession. Symptoms: depression, very low self-esteem, often compares herself to others, high level of self-criticism and suppression of her desires, and at the same time, very loyal to others, of course. Patient, soft character, empathic. So the good die young. Do you know this expression? The good ones, they die young. You know this? Okay. So 4 online emotional support sessions, very good. At the beginning of the war, she left the territory of Ukraine. She lived on French Riviera. Oh, beautiful. After a while, she returned home out of pity for her mother, who was alone in Ukraine, went back to work, which she didn't like it. Now she blames herself for not being able to build her life in new conditions and finds absolutely no resources to change anything. According to the client, she's stuck between wrong decision and decision she has not made. The client is in a stupor because of feelings of overwhelming guilt and disbelief in herself. The client is unable to make a decision to pursue her desires. The client evaluates his options, dreams outside help. Difficulties. The client really needs help. She feels the weight and pain of guilt. The first 3 sessions, the client was very vulnerable, crying a lot. Good that she could cry. I use grounding, meditation, supporting conversations, and open-end questions in sessions. Very good. The client says nothing changed in her life, and the request for a session is the same every time, how to start doing something. I see long-term work, a lot of traumatic experience from childhood have come up, but don't lead her into deep work on childness, on child traumas. I don't think the client is ready to little self-reliance and a lot of self-pity and self-blaming. I really want to help her, Satya. Satya, what would you advise? How to bring a person? So, you know, just to be sure of what I'm saying, she's blaming that she came back to Ukraine. She's blaming herself to be with her mother.
Она винит, это на примере этой ситуации, но это происходит всегда в ее жизни. И она винит себя за то, что она ничего не делает. И когда она озвучивает свои желания, она тут же говорит, ну, этому никогда не бывать. Конечно, зря я так сказала, я глупая. И, в общем, она тут же накрывает первый какой-то посыл и импульс самоосуждения, самокритикой и неверой в себя. Мы говорили то, с чем мы работали. Работа с самокритиком, как бы я говорила о том, что нужно воспитывать. У нас была замечательная сессия о том, как воспитывать внутренний голос, который осуждает. И у нас была сессия о том, как она даже озвучивала, что бы она хотела слышать от этого внутреннего голоса, слышать поддержку, слышать о том, что у тебя все получится. И у нас были замечательные 4 сессии. Для меня они продуктивные. Я видела много красоты. Но при этом она в том же состоянии. Она не может двигаться. И это очень сильно давит на нее. Так сильно, что она вот в глубокой депрессии. Она не может сделать акт, сделать действие.
Thank you, Tanya. Depression is that, you know, that you are so repressed that you don't move anyway. We don't have any energy to move. So it's important to understand Is she sleeping at night?
Да.
Oh, fantastic.
Иногда бывают проблемы со сном, но она не озвучила это как проблему, как сложность. Иногда говорит.
Look, she's 33 and you already described a pattern of behavior since very young. And she was outside of Ukraine and she even returned to her mother that she didn't want it. So I would keep on working, not to take her to do something different, but to see the pattern, to really become aware of the pattern, how she does it, where this blame comes. Who was blaming her when she was a child? I would do a lot of inner child and inner observation, you know, to grow the inner observer. And I would do a journal with her. You know, every day she needs to write the most critical thoughts about herself. One good thing that she is proud of herself. What time she feels more down, like in the morning, in the afternoon, in lunch, who she met. You know, you need to help her to see how she's really doing her life, because she can express the sadness. Yeah, she can cry. So now what we need to do is to create resources. So one day she can move, but we can only create resources if she is totally aware of where she is. Okay. And I don't know, but I would suggest that inner child work with the pillow, you know, this pillow in front of her. You remember this inner child work? Would be highly recommend, because what I sense for your description, she is in the child position that she can't fight for what she wants. She do whatever others wants, the adults, you know. She doesn't have the power to say no, to say yes. So we need to discover, to question with her where her child is stuck in that, why she sees herself without power, why she can't really fight for her dreams. Because it's natural that we are separate from our parents when we are adults. We start to have a different relation. They are responsible for their lives. We are thankful, and we are responsible for ours. If they need us, we will be there for them. But we don't live for them. And we can't expect that our kids live for us. By the opposite, a conscious parent wants the kids to fly away, to be autonomous, to be happy. And what she's telling is like, I can't be happy, I can't fly. I'm doing always what others want. So she's waiting her, she's living her life, wasting her energy and potential in what others want. So she feels lost all the time. She feels that she doesn't have power because she doesn't apply to herself. She has power because she even came back to her mother. She does what others want, so there's power there. We need to bring that power, that energy for herself, but she needs to understand what is happening to her, where she's stuck, deeply stuck.
Я еще сделаю ремарку. Она озвучивает практически все, что ты говоришь, о том, что она в позиции ребенка, о том, что она в позиции жертвы. Она осознает это. И когда она об этом говорит, ее приходит очень много эмоций и очень много чувства вины и такой жесткой критики к себе. Вот она очень ругает себя за то, что она понимает все и ничего не делает. И поэтому я не шла в работу с мамой, в глубокую работу. Мы прикасались к некоторым темам. Я видела, что там путь туда есть, но очень много боли и приходит очень много обвинения за всем. У нее хороший логический ум, она видит, она хорошо мыслит, анализирует и тут же осуждает. ей тяжело идти по-настоящему, вот, ну, по-настоящему слышать. Вот.
In her case, I would go there because she's becoming desperate and depressed. So there's no time to lose in that sense. I would go to the inner child and to see how her mother or father or whatever was blaming her and criticizing her, that she felt alone, that she needs to fulfill expectations, all this. I would go there because she needs to be angry with their parents if they are the parents doing this or any other person. She needs to be angry with them so she has the strength to say no. If she doesn't become angry, if she only blames herself, she can't move. So when we have a very rational mind that is intelligent, even understands, but she's not integrating that. Otherwise, she would do. Yeah. So we need to bring to that place, or where is the blocked, so she can feel the rage, she can feel the pain, she can feel, but not the blaming. I'm terrible. I know this and I don't do nothing. That is the voice that she heard when she was a child in a different way. That word like, what would you say to your mother? I don't know if the problem will be the problem or the block will be, or the trauma with her mother, but imagine that it is. When she was shouting with you or criticizing you, what you would say to her to really defend yourself as an adult. Stop, you don't say this to a child. This is not good words. It's not the way that you treat a child. And through that work of roles, you start building a trust in her. So when she comes outside, and this takes time, she will be able to do this in this present situation, because she is stuck there. Somehow she couldn't do it. And it was really intense. If she criticized herself a lot, it was really intense. It's enough, Tanya.
Спасибо.
Yeah, thank you. Maria, you want to ask a question here?
It's short, but it's about what you just said. When we made this work with my client, this girl, and what you would want to say to your father that was beating you, or to your mother that you left, she was absolutely numb in both cases, and just said, don't leave me, and she cried. Is it that says that so she could not become angry with them? Does it mean that now it's not the time and it's enough to say stay with me, because she only wanted to say don't leave me?
She's telling you that she would prefer to be beaten, but they stay with her.
Yes.
You know? So she's in the pain, and it's okay that she's in the pain, but I would step by step go on with the work, so she find that place like, how did you beat me? I was a child. I don't deserve this. I'm your daughter, you know, this is the shout of otherwise she can't forgive them. Yeah, if she can't be mad with them, how she can forgive them? There's nothing to forgive, but there is a lot to forgive.
Yes, but for the beginning it's okay, and then we just come back. Okay.
And it's her own timing, you know, it will take time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, everyone, take a deep breath. The sixth question from Zhenya. She's not here, so I hope you see the recording. Okay, so we have 5, maximum 10 minutes now. Let me see if the other question, if it's some, it's the last question that we have. Okay, so everyone. The client is 33 years old. She has addictive behaviors. She is in sessions for the last 6 months. And client used to take heavy drugs socially during 5 years. After 6 months of self-work, He only does weed and wine from time to time. The issue is that he can't stop on one glass or one joint. Once this door is a little bit open, he goes all the way, and it's difficult to stop. So next day he wants more. He's noticing this addictive behavior, but at the moment can't stop by himself. What is the next step working with addictions? How can I help him to stop after he takes small amount and not to continue next day? Is it possible in this case to do drugs and drink from time to time socially, or he must totally stop? Thank you. Look, Zhenya, I would apply the GPS for addictions even now. And I would need to know more about your client, because normally they will need to come to a point of really stopping. Only a few will be able to do a few times. That is for people that they don't have addictive behavior, that they can smoke a joint, go to a festival and do a drug, take alcohol, but then they are free. They don't even think about it. They can pass months without thinking. When you have an addiction, to sustain this is really hard. So fantastic that he already dropped heavy drugs. And maybe now this is, sometimes we hear in drug treatments, it's better to smoke 2 packs of cigars than to do 30 lines a day. So what I would suggest is to understand if with healthy behaviors like swimming, sports, it would be a good thing for them and to become addicted to these healthy behaviors. And why? Because normally in the beginning of an addiction, while we are working with the addiction itself and the reason what is behind, they need to put something in that place. So many times to heal opium, they give a lot of alcohol, okay? Because it's not so strong as the opium. To heal the alcohol, they give a lot of food. So what I try is not to stop the addictions immediately, is to see how gradually they can leave them and to have other healthy behaviors. So in the other day, for example, a person that was alcoholic is my client for a long time, and doing ceremonies, he said, I stopped alcohol already 1 year, but I became even more addicted to racing. He raced cars, professional racing. So now I'm totally there. And the wife by his side said, this is, we need to stop this. And I said, maybe not now, give him time. So it was already, 1 year is nothing. If he stops this adrenaline that is healthier than alcohol, because he has friends, because it's a sport, because maybe he will come back to this alcohol. And then we start step by step to work with this more healthier behavior. Yeah. I believe that if he can stop, maybe you can consider to put the question how it will be for you to stop everything and to start to have other behaviors. Okay. But I would need to know more about the person. What is behind the addiction? What takes him to addictions? What is the pain that he's trying to run away? Why he wants to get high? What he feels when he's getting high? More open, more relaxed, because then we need to work on those things. Okay. Everyone. Vlada, how is your son?
Замечательно. Привет.
I couldn't call you because since school that I had the operation, I've been very sick on my throat because I'm not used to narcotics. I'm not used to opiates use, corticoids, antibiotics. So my body went down, and I'm still now with pain. But the weekend and today I'm still with fever, so I couldn't call you back, but I will call you. in 1 or 2 days after, because the work is going on, and when I stop and I feel a little, so I can really be with you. Okay, I really want to know what happened to that mumia. My God.
Обязательно расскажу.
Thank God he's alive and he can be treated. So everyone, what a great supervision, huh? What great questions. Thank you for your amazing questions, deep questions. And I sense that you are really working, that you truly have questions. And I feel very honored with that. And I want to see you very soon as possible, when it's possible, of course. And I always take you in my heart in everything that I do in my life, even in private life. Sometimes all these letters from last school, they were really touching, but I have the great memories of each one of you inside of me. So know that you have a person that prays for you in every ceremony and in my prayers every day. I always pray for your health and for your consciousness every day. For my students and clients. Everyone have a beautiful night. We still have a beautiful day here. And I hope you can sleep well today. And we meet soon, everyone. Everyone.
Да. Где мы? А где мы? Где мы?
Kame